I mean, there's a lot of movies being remade nowadays, but I honestly feel this movie should not be one of them. What is up, guys? I am back for my 4th time in the series. I mean, yeah, it is 4. I'm probably going to lose track sooner or later, but at the moment, since it's such a low number in this movie recommendation series, I might as well just give you the number. We first watched 40-Year-Old Virgin, then secondly, we watched 10 Things I Hate About You, and thirdly, I was talking about Tommy Boy. So here's my 4th number in the movie recommendation series, and I will be talking about Sandlot. It's a classic, in my opinion, coming from a guy who played Little League all his life as a kid and went up to Pony and stuff like that. It's a movie that resonates with me and something I can relate to, and it's just a fun movie to put on, especially when I was in Little League. We would put it on all the time, like at hangouts or something like that, and we would watch it all together, like at pool parties or just like get-togethers with the parents and us kids just hanging out and having fun. It's a movie that kind of reminds me about my childhood, and it's just like, it's nothing spectacular, just like Tommy Boy. It's nothing like out of the ordinary, but it's just a movie that you can sit back, relax, and enjoy it with anybody. It's not a movie that you can't put on around kids or anyone, honestly. It's just something that everybody can enjoy. So, The Sandlot is basically about these group of kids who just love playing the game of baseball. And this one kid moves into the area, and he doesn't really have any friends yet. So he needs to go out and start introducing himself to the neighborhood kids. And so he tries to start hanging out with the baseball kids. Doesn't go as planned first time. They kind of laugh at him and call him a loser and stuff like that. But soon after he learns how to play the game a little bit, he starts making friends, and they start hanging out, and they have a great summer together. But like I said, there's gonna be spoilers, but he steals something from his father during this time. Something very, very important to his father. And he thought it would be cool to take it and give it to the guys so they can use it as well in like their baseball game. And none of them know what he just brought into the game. And so he actually loses it, and they have to get it back. So this is where the movie sort of like takes a left turn from being like just a kid trying to make friends and hang out over the summer, and it turns into kind of like, I don't want to say a heist, because it's a bunch of kids trying to get a baseball back, but it's kind of just, how would I put it? It's kind of, it's a scheme type of movie. It's like they're planning this. I don't know how to put it. I'll just put it as heist right now, but I don't know the word I'm looking for. But yeah, so they have to devise this plan how to get the ball back. And the reason why it's so tough to get this ball back is because it went over the fence to a neighbor that everybody's scared of. And also he has this big crazy dog that protects his backyard. And so nobody wants to hop the fence. So they have to devise this plan how to make all these mechanical stuff, and I don't know, it's so over the top, chaotic, like they're just doing too much. But it's just really fun, especially when you were a kid. It's just something very entertaining to watch as a kid. The movie doesn't have really any huge stars except the neighbor, where they have to get the ball back from, James Earl Jones. But other than that, the father who gets the ball stolen from him is Dennis Leary, and the mom of the boy who just moved into town is Karen Allen. She's semi-famous. She was in Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones, classic movie. But yeah, other than that, there's not really any huge stars in this movie. It's just a bunch of kids, probably one of their first movies or their first movie. And they're just having a fun time on set and playing the game of baseball and enjoying stuff. And the story is just so simple. It's just like, it's something anybody could have thought up. But the way they put it on the silver screen and how they deliver it and how a scenario, like how situations go from one thing to the other, and it's just how it escalates so quickly in such a dramatic but funny way. It's just so classic, in my opinion. I mean, there's one scene in particular where these kids are, I remind you, they're like in elementary school, middle school. It's so there's one scene where this kid thinks it's a great idea get everybody to chewing tobacco on a ride at the carnival. And since they're kids, they've never done it before, and since they love baseball, they know all the baseball players do it, and so they wanted to be like the baseball players. And so they go on this ride that's circular, like it's like it goes around and around in circles, and like, yeah, probably wasn't the best idea, but it showed for a very hilarious time in the movie. Something I also love about this movie is that it knows what it is, and it runs with it. It doesn't try to be anything it's not, and it knows it's a movie pertaining to children, and it knows that the viewing public will probably be a lot of children. It doesn't try to be an adult movie. It doesn't try to be anything more than just a bunch of kids having fun and getting into trouble, which it used to be a lot like that back in the days, and now just things have changed, like always. It's just something that a lot of adults today, and me, and the younger, semi-younger generation, but not too young, not like anybody I feel like born in the 90s can relate to this. But after that, I feel like it gets a little harder because things started to change and stuff, and I don't know, it's something that I feel will stand to be a cult classic for a long time, especially because a lot of parents, and myself included, and kids my age, and I mean, well, adults I guess now, but just, yeah, people who love the game of baseball, or any sport for that matter, I feel can relate to this, and just bonding with their friends, and having sleepovers, eating s'mores, having pool parties, and going to the recreational pool in town. It relates to a lot of kids, and that's why I love it. So it begs the question, does this movie hold up till today? This is a tough question, because this movie, alright, first off, this movie was made like in the 90s, but it's based upon kids around the 1950s, I think. Like, yeah, these are young kids. 1950s was a time. Babe Ruth was like the biggest player of all time during that time. And it's funny too. It's funny to think that this movie was based in the 1950s, but kids playing Little League in the early 2000s, late 90s can still relate to this. I'm speaking from example for me. And it just shows that things do change, but then they don't change. And so that brings me back to the question, does it hold up? For me personally, I think this movie is something that can never be remade, even though they did have sequels. I mean, I think they were like straight to DVD or straight to TV. It's just, they weren't nothing close to how good the first original movie was. But I'm not saying this is just as good as like Back to the Future series, or, well, for my sake, the Dark Knight trilogy. But this is a movie I feel that should not be touched because it's such a classic. Maybe they could make a modern twist to it, and maybe not make it baseball, make it like, I don't know, maybe make it about video games or something, or something that relates to this generation now. But as far as that movie as a whole, I don't think it should ever be remade, and I think it's perfect the way it is, and I think it's great. So, in my opinion, yes, this movie holds up to me because I think it's a great film, and when I settle down someday in the far future, I want to show this to my kids, and I want them to experience the same way I did, and I want them to love it just as much as I did. I mean, if they don't, they don't, but I mean, I want to show them what I came to know and love when I was a kid. So I give this movie a solid, I'm gonna give it a B-A. Just like Tommy Boy, it's something that I can never turn down. If anybody asks, hey, let's put on Sandlot, like, I would never turn down watching this movie, even as many times as I've ever watched it in my life. It's still a classic in my opinion, and it will never get old. And it's just, yeah, B-A. It's just, yeah, there you go. That's my rating. That's what I'm gonna give you. Go watch it. Go watch it with your kids. Go watch it as an adult. It will just not ever get old. Okay, guys, so I just wanted to bring you this short little video of my thoughts on The Sandlot and recommend it to you guys, just like I've been doing, and I hope you guys get a enjoyment out of it and get a kick out of it as much as I have as a kid and today as an adult. And if you guys ever watch it or like watch the recommendations I'm giving you, don't feel free to leave it down in the comments. Tell me what you thought of it, because like it will make me very happy to know that I turned you guys on to a movie that you guys will soon watch over and over again, and you might even love it and might become your favorite movie. I would find that very awesome that I got to do that for you guys, and I feel like it would make me want to do this more and more and more, because it just shows me that I have good taste in movies. I just want to, like I said in my last video, I just want to pass on these classic movies that I've watched all my life, and I want to pass it on to people that haven't got the chance to watch these yet. I don't know where it's streaming at. Probably not on any platform right now. I think it was on Netflix for a little bit. I don't know if it still is, but I mean, it's even worth a run. I mean, like, just go to Redbox or something. It's probably, well, actually, I don't know. Redbox has all these new movies. I don't think they have a large variety, but hey, I don't know. I'm just stream it, rent it any way possible that you can. It's a movie that you should see at the very least, at least once. And I promise you, you won't regret it. Just take my word. Alright guys, so that wraps it up for my short little video today, and I hope you guys are enjoying yourself, like always. Always got to leave on a positive note, especially during this time, and especially during this year. It's just a chaotic time right now, and I just hope everybody's doing well and everything is going good, and just making the best of whatever life has given you at the moment. Alright? I will come back with another recommendation very soon, I promise. Until then, have a great day, and peace.